Yo, what's good? It's your boy Derek Branch here of Memphis Wire. In today's video, let's go ahead and talk about the transfer portal rundown. Season is officially over for Memphis Tigers basketball. Is after what occurred last week, we're in the March Madness, and the Tigers are not a part of the activities. They are also not a part of the NIT tournament, and rightfully so. I agree with Penny Hardaway. They do not need to be in that tournament, the NIT tournament, because that after what we saw with that team throughout the entire season, especially during conference play, nobody wants to see that team on the court ever again. It's what's done is done, and it's time to move on to 2024, 2025. So for this video, I want to go ahead and talk about transfer portal, news, the rumors, what has been, coming across my timelines and what players the Tigers may be interested in adding to the roster. Well, it's going to be a new roster pretty much because Jonathan Pierre transfer hit the portal. Um, David Jones may come back, may not come back. Who knows? We know Ashton Hardaway is coming back. Nicholas Jordan is coming back, but you never know how this stuff could flip in the next couple of months with that situation. But I think I'm about 80 to 90% sure Nicholas Jordan will be a Memphis Tiger going into next season. Also, Dandridge, it's unfortunate what happened to him. He won't be back. Cornerly gone, Quan Walton, all those guys, Nick Quan Chamberlain, all out of eligibility. Remaining players that will be back, Carl Shanfine for right now will be back. Um, Joe Cooper, he'll be returning most likely. But other than that, man, it's gonna be a brand new basketball team for the most part going into next season. From what I've been seeing from Hitman Hoops timeline is that a lot of players that the Tigers are interested in right now are guards. 2 days ago, it was reported that Tigers may have interest in Doug McDaniel, who is a shorter guard could average 16.3 points per game last season. Last season with the Michigan Wolverines, could shoot 37% from the 3-point line, average 4.7 assists. So he is a total package, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, with a lot of these guys, can they defend? That's what my issue is. My concern is with a lot of these players that are coming to the transfer portal that Memphis may have interest in, even with Belmont guard Jacoby Gillespie. He's another guy that is coming in the transfer portal. He has multiple suitors. Memphis is one of them. Virginia Tech. He's like 10 or 12 teams on his list. Virginia Tech, Maryland, Indiana, Alabama, Kansas State, UCLA, SMU, Arkansas, Minnesota, Florida, Mississippi State, Georgia. So that's a huge list. And a lot of these teams, they're not really blue bloods, but they're some of the marquee programs in college basketball that's interested in the services of Jacoby Gillespie. And I think it was this morning, it was reported by, Hitman Hoops that um, Roger McFarland out of Southeastern, which is in Louisiana, he's a guard that can attack the glass, that can rebound, average 8.6 rebounds per game. That he's another player that the Tigers could be targeting as well. But those are the three names so far that I've heard about. Just from various sources and things like that. So here's what I think should happen, man. What needs to happen, man. It's great that the Tigers, that the program has, interest in these players that I mentioned. But when they come into the program, when they sign their letter of intent, they decide to actually become a part of next year's program, next year's team, Penny Hardaway needs to have a defined role for these guys. You know, that's if David Jones come back, you already got one guy that knows his role on the team. He is going to be the alpha. He's going to be the go-to guy. Who's going to be the number two? Who's going to be one? Well, we know David Jones is one. Who's going to be 1A? You know what I'm saying? Then afterwards, how the rest of the pecking order is going to play out? You know, who's going to be the role players? Who's going to be the guys that just gets down there and grinds? That's going to be your defenders. That's going to work hard. They may not be going to the NBA, but you know what I'm saying. But they want an opportunity to play to get into the tournament. You know what I'm saying? You coming from a lot of these guys out in the portal, coming from losing programs that couldn't get into the tournament. You know what I'm saying? Penny Hardaway needs to find those players that just want to leave, just want to finish their collegiate career on a high note by having an opportunity to enter the NCAA tournament. He used to find those type of players, man. You had them in last year's team with Elijah McCadden, um, you know, McCadden, Keota Kennedy. You had those players last year, you know. So he needs to establish who the role players are, and within those role players, who are the guys that are going to defend? You know, who are those players that is going to implement the Memphis, style of playing basketball, which is defense, forcing turnovers, blocking shots. Penny Hardaway is a defensive-minded coach, and I don't know, what went into his, thought process of veering away from that, put a team together this season. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're being honest, a lot of these guys he really didn't need. You know what I'm saying? Did he really need Jordan Brown? You know, now Jordan Brown gone and Malcolm Dandridge gone, so now he needs a big man. He needs somebody. He needs a big man that's efficient at attacking the boards, man. You know what I'm saying? That can defend, that can get you buckets when you call upon his name. That's what he needs, man. He needs a viable rim protector at the 5 spot. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I think needs to happen, man. But everybody, pretty much knows why this team didn't get to the tournament, man. We know why this team struggled down the stretch, man. And that's because I just think that Penny Hardaway just kind of mismanaged the way he approached the transfer portal. And that can't happen this upcoming season, man. You got to find the right players that's going to buy into the system, buy into the vision. Who's going to be the scorer, who's going to be the next scorer. And after that, man, you just cut it off right there. You find your role players. And if you can, man, find somebody, a 3-point shooter. Find somebody that's in the portal that's a really good 3-point shooter for that role, for that niche. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, it's gonna be a lot that's gonna transpire between this month and the next couple of months down the road. The next, I'll say 5 to 6 months, man. There's gonna be a lot of movement, a lot of players going and leaving the transfer portal, a lot of players leaving Memphis. Players probably leaving Memphis, players coming into Memphis. Um, you got the player that the only commit that high school commit from this upcoming class gonna be joining the program. That's about it. But other than that, man, it's gonna be interesting couple of weeks, couple of days for this basketball program as they attempt to retool the roster. And for the people that were saying that Penny Hardaway should be fired, man, you gotta let's I think you gotta give him the opportunity to run this back, man. you gotta give the opportunity to run his back because I think he knows what he needs to do. He already knows what he needs to do to get into the tournament. He knows what it takes to fill the roster because he did it the past 2 seasons. This year, man, just it fell apart. This year he failed. And sometimes it's okay to fail, man. Sometimes it's okay to fail miserably because that may be the only way you can ascend to greatness, you know. So um he just gotta be mindful on which players to add to the program, which players are going to know their roles once they get into the program, and then assemble a roster. It just don't make sense to give out all this money, this NIL money, to players that may not be worked, that you may be overpaying for, to just to be in a certain role when they should be getting far less than that. But we'll see how it play out, man. Only 3 players that have been stated listed on the Tigers' radar as far as in regards to the transfer portal, but we'll see what actually shakes real soon. So we'll see. All right, so that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel about the transfer portal information. And also check out MemphisWire.net for the latest content on the Memphis Tigers men's basketball program and football program as well. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.